Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. I am your host, the only Kayla, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Monty. He is a part of the cast of Tyler Perry's Bruh. Monty, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Kayla?
Good, good. So season two is in full effect. It is
hmm
coming to an end soon. Tell me, how's it been being a part of such a big show like this one, and also just seeing Tyler Perry's success with other films and TV shows, and to know that you are a part of something as big as this.
I mean, it's great. Tyler said, I'm gonna create a table. I'm gonna create my own path. And I was one of the people he invited to come to the table, and I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? I feel blessed. I feel grateful. He's one of the hardest working men in Hollywood, and so it's a dope opportunity. And then to work with a phenomenal cast that has now become a family, it's great. And then, speaking from an actor's perspective, you're lucky to get on a show ever in your career. If you're on a show, then if you're on a successful show, then if that show gets multiple seasons, you're in very rare company. So it feels dope. It feels great, and people are responding to it a great deal. I'm getting a lot of DMs hating what my character's doing, but nevertheless, it's dope. Kayla, it's a blessing.
That's awesome. Now, one thing that I love about Tyler Perry, because I'm a big fan of Tyler Perry's work, is that, whenever you watch a film or show of his, you are definitely going to laugh. But he's also known for addressing some really sensitive topics in his material. We've seen him
Yeah.
touch base on racism, on domestic violence, on hate crimes, infidelity, and things
hmm
like that. And in this season specifically, we see Philip, his character, deal with addiction. He came out and
Yeah.
said that he had a cocaine addiction. What was that like for you, being a part of something like that, that is addressing something as big as addiction?
I mean, for me, it hit personally. My biological mom was addicted to drugs. I grew up in like foster homes and group homes, so I grew up around drug addiction. Like I lived in crack houses several different times. So like I knew like firsthand. And Phil, he's like a little brother to me, and so he came to me, because he's never dealt with addiction like that, and he was asking some stuff, and we had an honest conversation of what that looks like, what that feels like, and he was, like, "Yo, it's good," and he's such a phenomenal, talented dude that he just brought it to life. He took it and ran with it. Like Phil, he's that guy. So it was dope to touch on that. Me personally, I grew up around that. Like I'm very familiar. Most of my family is either done drugs, addicted to drugs, selling drugs. So like I'm very familiar with that whole topic. And to be able to touch on that with the bros, that's crazy because I've had close family members that I've had to struggle with and deal with that. To watch them, pretty much deteriorate because of drug addiction. So I'm glad Tyler wrote that in, and I'm glad he gave it to my man Phil because the dude is supremely talented and he did one hell of a job with it.
I think that's amazing also that he came to you for guidance on the role because, you lived it. So there was no one
Yeah.
better than to tell him more about your story. So I think that's amazing. Is there another topic that you would like to see addressed in this show? Something that you probably feel passionate about, if any, that you would like to see?
Honestly, it's there's so many, and the way Tyler and minds work, he's gonna hit on it like we hitting on the this season, we're hitting on the trans issue, right?
Hmm.
And that's dope. Trans community, particularly with the Black community, because a lot of our trans family out there, they suffer a lot of harassment, and a lot of that harassment, if I'm keeping it 100, is coming from a lot of Black men. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessarily and unjustifiably so. So for Tyler to write that into the season, touching on that, being that 100%, we're one of the major perpetrators that are making it hard for our trans brothers and sisters and their binary family. I thought that was incredibly, powerful. Um, I would like to see, it would be fun to touch on a little bit more of the internal struggle of actually being Black. And I think Tyler was smart to stay away from it because a lot of shows there's a lot of social commentary. Everybody's talking about what's going on, so it's a little oversaturated. But it would be fun to do an introspective look of the bros dealing with that personally on a deeper level to see how we would have to come through that. So I think that'd be dope. And yeah, that's about it. There's so many other things. I know Tyler's about to hit on all of this, so I don't even know. The next season, the season after that, things are gonna get crazy.
Yeah, it's true. And like you said, the way Tyler Perry's mind works is amazing. So I'm sure it's probably in the works of he's probably writing that in the script, but I think
Hmm.
that is also a great topic that I'm sure will be addressed.
Yeah,
If not next season, in the future for sure. Now we know season two is coming to an end really quickly.
yeah.
What would you say viewers, supporters, fans can look forward to? I know you can't say too much, but what's something that we can look forward to? Because Tyler Perry loves to end his finales with a bang.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Just the the ending. Um, just be ready. Just 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 uh just be ready. Just be ready. We got some stuff. I can't give too much about the ending, but we are, there is a third. We do have a third season that we shot, and just to let you know, the third season we kick things up another notch. Things get elevated to a whole nother level. So a lot of the stuff that was touched on this season and season two, it gets further elaborated on season three, and it gets taken to a whole nother level. So be ready for that because it's. I'm extremely excited about what we did with that.
Hmm. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. How much of yourself would you say you portray in your character, if any at all? Like, do you say you guys are similar? Or, do
uh,
you kind of go into this role like, all right, this is my role, and then when you finish shooting, you're like, all right, like I'm just gonna be me. Or do you kind of intertwine the two?
it's a little bit. I think any dope artist, unless you're doing a biopic of somebody, um, you bring yourself into the role, especially when it's a new role. Like I got chosen for the role of Bill because it's something that Monti, bring to the character. And the same thing goes for all the other bros. Like all of us, we're like, wow, we worked so well together, and we were chosen for a reason. And I think you bring a part of yourself to every role. The thing the impulsiveness a little bit of Bill. I have that. I'm a very impatient person. I like to get stuff done, and I don't. I've learned as I've gotten older to think things through fully, but I don't overthink things. I kind of like, okay, I get a decent idea and then I go for it. And I think Bill does that on steroids. He's very impulsive, so I think a part of that impulsivity um, is kind of manifested in myself because I'm incredibly, hey, let's do this, let's go. I don't like to
Mhm.
overthink stuff because when I overthink stuff, I don't get anything done. So I think that aspect, and Bill does go after what he wants. He does go after what he wants for better or for worse, and that same thing goes for me. Maybe it's the Taurus in me, but I'm very stubborn, and I don't like no. I really go after stuff. So I think that's it. Everything else, nah, Bill is confused as hell. He don't know how to make decisions. I'm very much sure of who I am. So I think
Mhm.
that's kind of where we bump heads. But I think every character, any actor can say you have to bring a part of yourself into the role because that's what gives it its life.
Mhm. Awesome. And lastly, how would you say this being a part of this show has changed your life? And also, I know you play brothers on the
Mm-hmm.
show, but you guys also in real life have created a brotherhood, a friendship.
Oh
So,
yeah.
how has that changed your life?
I mean, first off, on multiple levels. The first level, you get to be a star of the show. Financially, you get put in another bracket, in another situation, which is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? There's that, and then the bonds you make with the cast, like we, like real brothers. Like we
Yeah.
know each other. Like it's such a dope thing because so often you kind of go, you do your work, and when you see other castmates in the public, you say what's up. But we on a text thread, we say what's up, we link up when we're in each other's town. So that has really changed. And then honestly, to be real, probably the most significant outside of all of that is the level of confidence. Because to be a star of a show as an actor, that's almost like the holy grail. You know what I mean? Until you get to that movie star status, which very few actors are fortunate enough to get to say I'm a star on this show, on a Tyler Perry show. What that does for your confidence and your belief in yourself of what's possible, I think that's the most valuable thing you take away from this experience.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. I look forward to the season finale. I also look forward to season three, and congratulations.
I appreciate it, Kayla. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you.